So we come to one of the highlights of the day. They've really built the Bart Cummings up, haven't they, the Victoria Racing Club, and why not, after the man who won 12 of the big ones. Our man who won the race a few years back and went on to win the Cup, Surprise Baby, was so competitive last year. For the market mover, it's PointsBet and Brett Finch.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. The market mover, Admire Robson, opened at $41 and the money just keeps coming for it. It's into $10 now, so number 11, Admire Robson.
Well, that would give you some confidence, Henry.
Yeah, definitely, Jared. He's just unexposed in Australia. He's a pretty promising horse in Japan before he came over, and just the 2 runs he's had, he's never had a chance anyway, and he gets to a distance that he can be competitive at today. So I think 2,500 Flemington, they're all tick-tick. Rumour has it Paul Prushka's got him on favourable terms with Surprise Baby. So if that can be the case, maybe if he can measure up against last year's winner, then he's going to be a chance, isn't he?
Who gets the golden ticket, Richo?
Oh, it's a fascinating race. I thought Shabao before he really played up in the mounting yard. Gee, it was a disappointing. He paraded well, and then as soon as Willie Pike jumped on board, he got right on his toes. It took Rob Hickmott ages to get him out on the track. That's why we've got a little delay. I just spoke to Rob Hickmott. I said you needed to get back to those old AFL days when he played for Essendon. He had to get rough and ready. He eventually got him settled down. I was keen on Shabao. I take Henry's point. Admire Robson looked way over the odds, but I'm concerned he's wasted some energy now.
Bruce, what corner are you in here?
I'm Admire Robson. I know Henry's stolen the thunder, but I'm with him. I'm right on his shoulder. I thought the run was very good at Moonee Valley. The Japanese form was very solid around this trip, so I'm expecting the money to be correct today, and I think he'll charge his way into Melbourne Cup calculations.
Well, the Bart Cummings over 2,510 metres for a ticket into the famous race on the first Tuesday of November. So let's head to our caller, Matt Hill.
Supergirl, Steel Prince, who's been ticking over so nicely, and a great race in the Cup last year as well. There's Gamekeeper going forward. Luke Curry taking a wide alley. Credence moves up for Michael Poy. They fill the stalls well. Shabao stands patiently next to Shared Ambition. Assistant starter just giving them a bit of a hurry along. South Pacific now moving in. Real blustery conditions prevailing here at Flemington as Supergirl takes the outside. And that'll be it. The Bart Cummings. A place in the Cup up for grabs. Shabao on its toes, trying to lift in the stalls. Hackey's a little bit edgy, ready racing. Hackey jumped away with them. Sound out well with Persan. Speed towards the outside. De Beer is pushing up. Good idea as well. South Pacific's driving through. Credence is in the top 4. Steel Prince looks for a position from that wide alley. Midfield Lord Belvedere. Then Hackey, Admire Robson, Young Rascal. Then Shabao towards the back of the field. Shared Ambition, Supergirl and Gamekeeper last. Heading towards the riverside now. Just over 2,000 metres to run. And South Pacific with the tactics change went to the lead by a length to De Beer, who has its neck arched in a very funny fashion there, trying to lug to the outside, passed by Good Idea. De Beer just won't settle at the moment. Third, 4 lengths Credence, Persan. Next in the field, Sound, and then came Lord Belvedere. Admire Robson, midfield, the fence. Steel Prince deep, no luck from Hackey, and then Young Rascal. A length Shabao, 2 lengths to Supergirl, who's well back in the field as they reach the 1,500 metres. Also back in the field now, last is Gamekeeper as the field string right out, and well back in the field is also Shared Ambition. So the leader South Pacific and kept them rolling into that headwind at the 1,300 metres, led by 2 lengths Good Idea. About 4 or 5 lengths away next in the field is De Beer. Then came Credence, Sound, and along the inside Persan. Steel Prince wider and now improves from Lord Belvedere the middle. Lord Belvedere spotting the leader about 10 to 12. Then Shabao, Admire Robson being shuffled back at that stage. Next in the field, Hackey, Shared Ambition getting going from the back. Then Young Rascal, next Gamekeeper and Supergirl. South Pacific to the side of the track with approximately 900 metres to go, led by a length and a half. 2 in second, Good Idea. They slacken mid-race and some moves are coming from the back. 2 lengths to Sound, De Beer. Steel Prince now up to 5th from Credence. Shabao's getting motivated. Persan, Lord Belvedere Belvedere still spots the mate. Then came Hackey, well back gamekeeper. Admire Robson shuffle back to third last from Young Rascal and Supergirl. So a spot up for grabs in the cup around the turn. 500 metres to go. South Pacific just in front of Good Idea. De Beer gets a needle eye opening up on the inside. Sound, Persan, Steel Prince, Shared Ambition down the centre from Lord Belvedere. Sound moves up to Persan at the 300. Here's Steel Prince, the outside, makes a line of 3 from Lord Belvedere, but it's Persan at the clock tower kicking from Sound, Steel Prince, Credence, Shared Ambition. Still Persan from Sound, Steel Prince. Persan, what a prep it's having, and it's going to run in the cup. Persan won from a photo second, Sound or Steel Prince, and then Shabao. Next, Admire Robson, Credence, Shared Ambition, a gap Lord Belvedere, Good Idea, Supergirl, South Pacific, Hackey, a gap to be a gamekeeper, and last was Young Rascal.
What a prep it's having indeed. Persan, Kieran Maher and David Eustace. Are there any more informed trainers of stayers at the moment in Australia? They are flying. Persan, I remember this horse falling towards the end of a race here at Royal Randwick one day, and now in Melbourne under the care of Maher and Eustace. It has been up for a long time, this preparation. Well, now it's going to be up for longer because it's heading towards a Melbourne Cup, Bruce.
Gee, it was a great win, wasn't it? And you've summed it up so well, Jared. I mean, he ran in those races last spring in New South Wales, and he's just gone from strength to strength through the winter. He had the fence in front of Admire Robson. He had a good run, and then Jai McNeil, who rode his first Group 1 winner on this day last year in the Turnbull, and he goes again. And he was just too strong for Sound. Sound just keeps on running well. Steel Prince, again, a really good run. Remember how well Steel Prince ran in the Melbourne Cup last year? I thought Shared Ambition was okay. I thought Admire Robson was pretty good late, and there were some other good runs in the race as well. But Henry, you can't take anything away from this bloke, and add one to the stat that you told us earlier.
Yeah, well, that's right. This horse, he's just continued to train on right through the winter. He's now 9 runs this prep and just never been unplaced. That's his 5th win for the prep. Just big congratulations to the Wilsons and the McClures. They found himself with a Melbourne Cup winner from a horse that they probably thought was a benchmark horse earlier in the winter.
Gee, Sound was brave, made that mid-race move, Bruce.
He's going well. I mean, he's been in 2 Melbourne Cups already, Sound. I mean, what do you do with him? He's still a stallion. He hasn't won in Australia. He's taken, Mike's taken him back to New Zealand for big races there. No, he's going well. This is a horse on the up. Breeding's a funny thing, Jared. Piero, Won that Breeders, won a Golden Slipper. He's had Oaks and Derby winners, and now he's got a Melbourne Cup runner.
Yeah, outstanding stuff for Piero standing there at Coolmore. Persan for Jai McNeil and Kieran Maher and David Eustace winning the Bart Cummings. Well, the Western Bulldogs are warming up for their elimination final against St Kilda 6v6.